והיה כי Savo v'gomer, and it'll be when you come to the land. Ksiv, sof Parshas Mishpatim, Reishis Bikorei Chulu, lo Sivashel Gedi Chulu. It says that you should bring the first of your fruits, and you should not cook a kid in its mother's milk. V'hik shebezor chelik beis kuf kaf dalet sufamad beis mai kamairi. And it asks in Zohar, what is it? What's it talking about? What's the connection between the first part of the pasuk about Bikurim and the end with Lo Savashel Gedi V'ayin Bikli Yakar Sham Mashikasu V'kan Samcha Chulu Vein Ledvarav Tam, and look in Kli Yakar that he brings a reason, and it's not a good explanation. In Tanchuma here, he says, "Come, let us bow down." Elatzafa Moshe Chulu. But rather, Moshe saw V'hiskin Yisrael sheyihiyu mispalelin gimel pamim b'chol yom Chulu, and he established that we should be praying 3 times a day. V'hiksheb b'megali amukos ofen kuf pehei. Ma'inim gimel tfilos lebikurim, and the Megali Amukos asks, what's the connection between the 3 prayers and bikurim? Achine ksiv kebikura b'teina b'reishisara isiavosechem b'Hosea simintes. Now it's written in Hosea like a fig in its first flowering, when it first grows. I saw your forefathers, Vamru Rizal, Barabos Breshis Parsha Aleph, and our sages said, Medrashaba Ha'avos V'Yisrael Chulu Al B'Machshavali Boros, that the forefathers and Israel came up in thought to be created. Ha'avos Minayin, how do we know the forefathers? Shinamar Ki Bikura B'Tei Nachu, like it says, like a first fig. I saw your fathers. Vayin mizeh gamkin b'seder lech lecha, so reish parsha mem vav, and look in Medrash Rabbah lech lecha. Nimtza ha'avos nikro bikurim al shem ki bikura b'tei nachulu. So we see that the fathers are called bikurim, the first fruits, like the verse, like a fig in its first growing. Ahinu sha'alu b'machshava kodim shenivra ha'olam. That is, that they came up in thought before the world was created. They were bikurim. Ubraymehem Parshas Mishpatim Daf Kuf Kafal Frisham Ralef Mefarish Kinal Kol Yisrael. And the Raymehem Mishpatim explains the same idea with all of Israel, not just the Avos, that all of Israel came up and thought like it says. It says that the first of the fruits, Inun Yisrael Chulu, that refers to Israel. Kodesh Yisrael Hashem, Reishis Tvu also, that Yisrael is holy to Hashem, the first of his produce. Vainu Kanal, like we said, Yisrael alu b'machshavat, Israel came up in thought. V'chein isa b'Parshas Pinchas Tafresh Nun Gimel Amud Aleph ki bikura b'tei na. On this verse as well, like the first of the figs, Hachi Yisrael kadmonim ubikurim chulu, so to Israel are the beginning and the first. And that's what it's written, that Israel is holy, the first of the produce. And the Ramaz explains in Zohar there in Pinchas, that's how Yisrael are first, and his thought may be blessed, that their souls are before the world. Now the explanation and the concept that the fathers came up in thought is explained at length in the explanation on, if you go in my statutes, about the chukosai, or the letters that are engraved, chukos chakika shemini ubei, that they're in the stone itself, ugalif gelivu b'dihiri law, and you have the concept of how Hashem engraved engravings in the supernal purity. Atik yamin varichanpin, that you have the partsufim of Atik and Arich v'sham shor sha'avos, and there In the Partsufim of Keser, you have the source of the root of the forefathers, B'chagas de Keser, and Chesed Gvur Tiferes of Keser are the Avos. That's the forefathers, as they came up in thought, so to speak. And that's like the verse that in Yehoshua, that your forefathers dwelled on the other side of the river, higher than the river that came out of Eden. Ayin Sham, look over there, in Parshas B'chukosai. In the Maimorim, V'zeu gam ken inyan kodesh Yisrael Hashem reishis tfuaso, and that's also the idea of Yisrael is holy to Hashem, the first of His produce. K'mevor b'bir al pasuk Yonasi, like it's explained on the beer of the Mamar of Yonasi, Dahinu she'alu b'machshava k'duma, that we came up into the supernal thought, Shu'ak, which is Adam Kadmon, Raiva de Kol Raivin, so not just the Avos, but also Israel came up in thought in Ak, the desire of all desires, Ulechein Him Reishis Tvuaso, and that's why we're the first of the produce, of His produce, Ainu L'mayla Gam B'chinas HaTorah, Shenikra Tvuaso, which is that higher than the concept of Torah, which is called His produce. V'zeu v'Torah Sam B'Yisrael Chulo, that's why it says the Torah was placed in Israel, that Israel was already there, and Torah was placed in them. I guess Ohr Hatorah Shiur, because Torah is from the wisdom of Atzilus, which is called the beginning. The Reishis Tfuaso of Al Bechinas Ak, Zeu L'mayla Matzilus Chulu Ein Sham. But Adam Kadmon is higher than Atzilus. Look over there. L'chein Him Nikraim Bikurim, and that's why Israel are called the first fruits. Shekad b'machshava Chulu, that they came up first in thought. Vayin b'me'ori oros space Him and Kav Gimel L'chein Nikra Bikurim Mitzad Ha'ilan de Kedusha. Therefore they're called the first fruits, because of the tree of holiness. Shem kadmu kebikura b'reshisa arkan lashono, that the tree is like the hishtalshalus, and the beginning of it, or the produce of it. Shem kadmu kebikura b'reshisa arkan lashono, that they came up, that the first, like the first fruits of a tree. And look in Zohar Emor, where it says that on this we learn Batzeres al Pedos Ha'ilon, that we're judged on Shvuos, about the fruits of the tree. And when you bring Bikurim, I guess when we became a nation is like the first of Israel. So that's why we're judged on the Peros Elon on Atzeres or something. But come that the tree only makes fruits in the earth. So I guess Israel and the earth is like the fruits. Not, you can't just have them in thought, but they have to be in on the earth. And the Zohar Vayechi asks, what are the fruits of the tree? There brings the verse from Shir Hashirim that its fruit is sweet to my palate. And look what's brought on the verse, the son that grows Yosef, and the Targum is Kegofen, that like a grapevine that grows by the water. Look what's brought about how the sons of Reuven had a lot of cattle. About how Reuven had the dudaim. Perhaps there's a connection there. But he says in Yirmiyah that he saw two concepts of figs. Muadim lifnei heichal Hashem chulu, two, I guess, baskets of figs that are placed in front of the heichal of Hashem. Hadud heichad henim tovos me'od. And the first basket had very good figs. Ube'eruvin perek beis daf kavalef sofamad alef alut tzadik elu tzadik migemurim. And in Eruvin it explains this pasuk in Yirmiyah that these good figs refer to complete tzaddikim. Vadud haichad henim ra'os me'od. And the bad figs, the other basket had bad figs. Elu reshayim gemurim. That refers to the bad, completely bad people. We can say that the word fig is the same language as plotting. Who te'ona hu mivakesh, he's making some kind of plot. Shoftim simin yudalid. Fuinyin kukenyin arama mirma, and that's like the idea of trickery and a plot. And you have this in holiness as well. Like by Yaakov, where it says that your brother came in trickery and took your blessing. Like it says, I am wisdom and I dwell with this kind of tricky thought. And that's like it says that the good figs, the good plottings, the good trickery. That's the idea of the oral Torah. That you have this, opposite that. Arama, the nachash, the opposite of the trickery of the snake. Hute'inim haraos, that's the bad figs. Me'od, the very bad figs. And through the toil in the oral Torah, which is compared to a fig, Kamayim Razal, like our sages said, Perakeda Eruvin Dafnun Dalit Sofamad Aleph Lama Nimshalu Divrei Torah L'Te'ena. Like the statement of our sages, why are the words of Torah compared to a fig? Through this, you push away the trickery of Klippa. And this is what our sages said in the Mishnah of Trumos. How do we know that you have to preface Bikurim to Truma? But you should preface the Bikurim because they are the first of all. And the concept is Ki Truma Hainu Torah, because Truma is Torah, Shnikres Reishis, which is called the beginning. Hashem Kanani Reishis Darko, like the Torah says, that Hashem has established me as the beginning of His way. So we see the sort of the trickery of Torah, the Torah Shabbal Peh, and the aroma in it, the very cleverness of it, comes first before the Torah as it is Truma, the beginning of His way. Look what it's brought over there in Medrasha Truma, that I have given you a good portion. Parshas Korach, Kufaintes Aleph, Truma Torah, that Truma is Torah. And so Truma is something that's given. So Lekach Tov Nasati Lechem is like a gift that's given, the Truma. So too Truma is here we're saying in Zohar Korach, made of the word Torah and the letter Mem, Torah Disehivas Bar Baim Yom. The Torah that was given in 40 days, and that's also the concept of Truma, which is 2 out of 100, is an acronym. What's this 2 out of 100? That's the Beis in Breshis, Beis of the beginning. that's the higher wisdom and the lower wisdom. So if you have, I guess, the spheros as they are included in 10, so 10 spheros times 10 is 100, so the beginning and the end of it is the higher wisdom and the lower wisdom. And that's the written Torah and the oral Torah, the higher wisdom and the lower wisdom. And that's also the idea of the 2,000 years that Torah prefaced is Alfin Dichsiv, the two Alephs, like it's written, Aleph Chochma, I will teach you wisdom. So here we're saying though that Torah Shebal Peh is usually Malchus, so I'm wondering how it comes before the Bikurim comes before the Truma. At any rate, Hainu Chochmi Love Chochman Tata, that's the higher. So the two Alephs are the higher wisdom and the lower wisdom. Ach Isa Berabos Breshis Pasha Aleph Machshavtan Shel Yisrael Kad Melechol Davar, that the thought of Israel came before everything. Hainu Af LeTorah, even before Torah. So Israel comes before that even. V'kamoshe Kos B'Tana de Be'Eliyahu Chelek Aleph Perek Yudalad Ve'elu Hein Torah of Israel. The Torah and Israel came up in thought first. But I don't know which one came first. So the Bikurim that we're saying comes before Truma, before Torah, that's Yisrael. But I say that Yisrael came first. So that Yisrael is holy for Hashem, the beginning of his produce. So even though we said that the concept of Bikurim is Te'ena, is a Rama, but it also refers to Yisrael. I guess it's like Yaakov, who had Aramam. And that's the idea of Bikurim that comes before Truma. Nikra Reshis, which is called the beginning. The concept of supernal wisdom. But the souls of Israel come from Ak. And I guess the Arama comes from Ak. Of the Te'ena, even though he doesn't say it clearly. And look what's brought in Shishim Hema about my dove is one. That refers to the souls of Israel. That's higher than level. The level of 60 are the queens. Shishim Masachtos v'chulu, which are the 60 tractates. In Torah, v'zeu derech shebikurim kodmin letruma, and that's like the idea that bikurim comes before truma. Kitzer, and yina avos shenemar alem ki bikura b'teina. So we talked about the avos, how they're like the fig that grows first. Be'ivir hanahar yashvu, that they sat on the other side of the river. Chagas, the keser, tori chashocha, the mountains of darkness. And that's how Yisrael came up in thought, which is Adam Kadmon Bikurim. That's why they're called the first fruits. Hainu Kadmonim, and that is the first ones called Ezrach B'Yisrael, all those who shine in Israel. V'nikra Peiros Ilan, and they're called the fruits of the tree, V'kodmim L'Truma, which comes before the freshest Truma of the produce, Shireshis, which is the beginning. Chachma, Shitrei Memea, which is 2 out of 100. Torah Shebal Bechsav, Torah Shebal Peh, the written Torah and the oral Torah are the Truma, whereas the Bikurim correspond with Israel.